Hi there, we're starting off with models within the game. Here's the flashlight that I first made for the player. The player would not be visible as there's no model for them. Now continue on to the bookshelf. You would see this in the library section. It does require a few more models that I plan to create, such as ones for corners. There's a bit of Z fighting at the bottom, which would be corrected later on. Regardless, it's already been textured and implemented into the game. Very nice bookshelf if I do say so myself. Here's the window. That was the inside, and this is the outside. You can see the window sill, the exterior frame. Once it's textured properly, it should be transparent. If not, then it's totally fine. There's minor indents on the sides. Now going to the pots, you would see the pots around the game a lot, hiding keys or other collectibles. A plant hasn't been added yet, for I plan to add in PNG plants to not overdo the game engine with too many polygons. It's supposed to be a low poly game. Here's the flower bed, same concept. We'll be using PNG flowers on top, duplicated with each other to give it a more fluffy appearance. I don't really put bottoms on the bottom of my models, mostly for the sake to save polys. Now, this is a fountain that I created for the outside level. You would see that it's painted not for the level itself, but it was painted for our texture. Pressure can see which one goes to which in Substance Painter. This was one of my hardest things to create. This is a driveway. It's simple. It uses a plane that I was able to extend out. This would be used, of course, in the middle of start and heading towards the gateway. You would see this as well at start. It would be surrounded by two bush segments that you will see later on. The player cannot leave the level, but this is there for just decoration as a starting point. Painted as well, so layers are separated in Substance Painter. Now this is a decorative bush. Of course, it doesn't look like much, but once you put it into the game and give it a few textures, it gives off the illusion of it's a bush. As said before, this is a low poly game. Here is a bush corner. You would see this. As you can see, the ends of it are not there because it's going to be connected to bush segments, of course, to save polygons. And here's the bush segment. As you can see, missing a piece because it's going to be connected to others, but it does have an end in case it is visible with the gateway. Now here's the door made for the outside. Pretty splendid, with handmade doorknobs. It is very nice if I do say so myself. You would see a common thing is that I would not put bottoms on my models just to save poly counts. Here's the key. Well, there was an issue here that can be easily fixed or chalked up as it's an old key. You would see these keys around the map a lot, especially hiding in pots or other areas to access doors throughout the game. Here's another door. This is a door that would be found inside the levels of the mansion. Same thing, painted for better visibility, so our texture can see different layers. Now here's the pictures from milestone 1, but will be used in reference. As you can see, the pots shown in this video will have the key with them. The flashlight modeled in the beginning is seen in this picture, along with a bookshelf in the background. And the flashlight returns while I shall make the vacuum cleaner later on. Our primary focus is the light mechanic. Each of these drawings in the background would be recreated in 3D instead of 2D. As you can see, common elements, the key, the characters. The ghosts are underway and should be expected in the third milestone. More models are to come as the third milestone comes along. The fountain that was made earlier, the driveway, and the bushes are seen here, along with the potted plants and doorways and windows.